Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing? Good morning. I am popping in here this beautiful sunshiny morning. Oh, it is so nice here today. We were supposed to have like 4 days of rain, but apparently that has changed and it's back to sun and like already like 72 degrees. So it's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous day here. I've got my pool on. How's everybody doing? How are you getting ready for your day? How are you? How do you want to feel today? And what are you asking for today? Like, how do you want today to go for you? And I know I posted this on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's at Lori Jeskowitz, just all one word, no hyphens, just at Lori Jeskowitz, all one word, all lowercase. And I did a post. It was, I think it was last week. And it's like, my post was like, what do you want to happen today? And it's like a really great question because it's like, well, what do you want to happen today? Are you just kind of going through like, well, let's just see what shows up? Which is great, like, fine. Or do you want to get more specific and be like, what's happening today? What do I want to happen? And what is my intention? And like, you get to play the game? Like, wouldn't it be great if, I don't know, you made an extra $250, an extra $500 today? Wouldn't it be great if you got to reconnect or reconnect with someone who is just such an inspiration to you and you're just like, oh, I just love talking and connecting with them? Maybe today's the day that you like, my point is like things happen in our days. Is that someone wants to have you? I remember, like, what was it, a couple months back, I got a request to be on a podcast. I'm like, yes, like these are the things that we want to happen during the day. So, and I think sometimes we can put, oh, like that time isn't here yet for me. And we can put like, I haven't, a theme that's been coming up this week and with a couple of clients is like, I haven't paid my dues yet, or I haven't paid enough dues yet for me to be able to receive that. And I'm like, y'all, yeah, you have. Like, there are no, like, and let me ask you that question. So if there's the belief that I have to pay my dues or I haven't paid enough dues yet, well, what's that number? Like, how many years, days, weeks, months, decades is it going to be before you feel as though you've paid your dues? And when you come at it from that way, you begin to see, well, what is that amount? Right? Because what it can be is actually a default that keeps you. So like when you're not where you want to be at this point, it can be that our brain goes looking to assign meaning as to why that is. Because when we can assign meaning to something, we're like, okay, I haven't paid my dues yet. And I haven't been doing this long enough yet. And it's like, and then like you believe that right now, you've just backed it up. You've had the experience, you've backed it up with proof. And now you've formed a belief. When in actuality, it's like you get to just set the intention and call it in at any time, wherever you are. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I want to keep this on the short side for you, but this is the power of the Being You Financially Free Facebook group when you work it. Okay. I am putting things in here that I'm listening for themes that come up from folks who are emailing me, messaging me, and sometimes asking a question in the group as well. It's like all of these ways. I want you to find the way to reach out to me that best aligns and feels great for you. I totally get that. Sometimes you just want the privacy and connection in a chat or email, and I totally get that. So what was showing up was the Monday Money Mantra. Okay. And I was having a little bit of a challenge, like picking this week's, right? Because I'm like, oh, like normally they just float in. and it wasn't floating in. And I have like a sheet, I have a Google Doc of all of them, so that when that happens, I have like, when something's not floating in, I have my Google Doc, right? It's nice to have a framework to rely on, right? And I like to just use spontaneity and what comes through in the moment. Well, apparently what was coming through for yesterday was go to your spreadsheet. So I did. And yesterday's Monday money mantra, which was, I show how it was written out is like, I show love and respect to my money. And I'm like, oh, we're going to flip this. I respect and love my money. And because for me, like, I realized through doing this that I have a deep value of respect, a deep value of respect for all things, nature, people, neighbors, our neighborhood, our community, right? All of you in this group. It's just like, there's this, the first for me is respect. And because of that respect, then love can just flow freely from that, because there's that respect first, right? That's my value. That's how I prioritize. It's not a priority. It's when I'm in alignment and when I feel respected, boom, then I'm able to freely give love, support, service, all of that. So I'm going to share with you here why I wanted to come in today, because that Monday money mantra, when I was typing it out, the caption, it was like, I could hear, okay, people are going to say that they respect and love their money. And then I was like, yeah, and there's no cap. And that's why I was like, okay, how can you, if there's already this love and respect and love for money, or love and respect, however you want to phrase it, how can you expand it even more? So when I asked this question, and like, literally, like, you don't even have to like do any super really hard work here, just me creating that intention of like, how can I show money even more respect and love? A few areas were pointed out to me of where I was like, oh, I could definitely show more respect and love in these few areas, right? And, one of the things is, my husband's working towards retirement, and he's just got a few years left, and even he's young, but he'll be retired fairly young. But what this brought about was all of the areas, like, how like you're like, I want to make more money. Well, sometimes you don't have to make more money. It's just loving on and respecting the money that you already have, that's where you find more money. And then because of that respect and love, then even more can flow in. So what showed up for me was this. So I set the intention yesterday of like, how can I just, it wasn't hard. Like, I just really want to, like, I didn't have to like get a journal. I didn't have to get a notebook. Like, and if you want to get a journal and a notebook, I invite you to do that. But I know that sometimes, sorry, my hair is a little stuck. I know that sometimes we can shy away from doing these exercises because it's like, oh, this is going to take too much time. This is going to take too much effort. Or it's just, I'm going to come back to it later. And before you know it, it's Thursday, right? And it's like, oh crap, so I'm stating this because all I did was just think about, feel into that, write that caption, get curious about it, release it. And the ways that I could love and respect and love money even more started to flow in. So it was so funny because my husband and I are also working towards moving, and, we're getting there, and I'm like, okay, we're not exactly at the move stage yet, but what are some steps that we could take that, like, let's say that, he could retire tomorrow. Are we ready? No. Like, just like house-wise, like, are we like packed, or is like the house like we have just a few remodeling projects left, right? But like, are we ready, or like, are we waiting for that to come? And that, I'm like, no, I want to just be ready. Like, when that happens, it's like, boom, initiate, plan, get U-Haul, like, we're there. So but anyway, so we started talking about like some things that we could do. And in this process of just hashing it out on a walk, again, y'all, a walk, this is how so many of the ideas come in. We were able to hash out a plan. And lo and behold, do you know what? Oh, and I had a fabulous conversation with one of my coaches yesterday, and we were able to even get to having a plan on a call with her. So thank you to my coach as well. And then when I could then have the conversation with my hubby on the walk, boom, 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 boom. Like these are the things. And I'm going to say, my hubby, honey, you're probably watching this. I love and adore you, and he's still looking for like, but this doesn't make sense. Why would we do this? I'm still X amount of years away. And like, I don't understand what you're doing. Like, why do you want to do this? Like, let's just keep doing what we're doing. And like, and then when that day comes, then I'm like, I want to be ready. I want to put the energy and the intention towards what I'm calling in, because you know what? We don't know. He could get a call tomorrow. He could get a call. We're buying out your contract. Companies do stuff all the time you never see coming, right? So I want to be ready. So we come home from the walk last night, and we got notified that via my daughter, via email, that we're getting an extra just over $600 back coming to us. It's already on its way. And I'm like, do you see now? Because one of the things I wanted to do this project, and it's going to be, there's going to be some investment that comes with it, right? We're going to be investing a little bit more into the house, and over $600 showed up. Boom. We came home for the walk. I was sitting my ass on the couch, like recovering, like before I got in the shower, and $600. And I go, Dan, do you know, like, how many times do I need to do this before you're like, this is a regular source of income, Lori? Like, how many times does this have to happen? So he's like, I believe you. I believe you. But here's the thing. It can be really easy to not, I don't want to use the word rely, but it is, I rely on universe to show up in mysterious ways. That's what I do. I just rely on it. I know it's going to. I don't need any more damn proof. I've had enough proof. You can see it inside this group. You can see when I host challenges, the amount of money that shows up, the raises that get asked for, the like things we could never have seen coming show up. They show up. And it's not because I'm necessarily giving steps. Like sometimes that is the Monday Money Mantra, this conversation today. Yes, there are steps that I'm sharing with you, but have any of them been like backbreaking work? Have any of them, like sucked your soul dry? Have any of them been like, this is too much, Lori? No, this shit is easy. This shit is easy when you let it be. When you let it be easy, it is. So my whole purpose for coming in here today, what do you want to have happen today? Okay. And then secondly, how can you expand your respect and love for money even more? And then look and see what shows up. By me just saying, I want to respect and love our money even more, it was like, oh, okay. Things started moving. I was on the phone with my coach or on Zoom with my coach. And I'm like, you know what? A way that I could respect money and love it even more is I've got like these end tables, right? That I've been wanting to refinish them for ages. And it actually showed up in my meditation yesterday. I've been wanting to strip these down and refinish them for ages, and I just haven't been doing it. Well, wouldn't you know it? What was step one to, my hubby and I getting ready to move like this, make this plan? Step one was I am just activating the energy of doing things I don't normally give myself like the space to do. Because when I do that, I'm respecting myself. I'm loving myself. It becomes part of my self-care ritual, right? I'm doing things with my hands that are creative. I saw this quote the other day. A woman was a gardener and her one flower pot smashed to like probably like 8 good sized pieces. And she had Gorilla Glue and her hands were just black. She's like, how do I get this off? She was freaking, the pot was still broken and she couldn't get and this woman responded, she's like, you just have the hands of a creative artist. It'll wear off and wash off in a few days. And I was like, yes, I want to have hands of a creative artist, and have paint and just all this stuff all over me. I'm like, yes, it just feels good for some reason. I don't know why. definitely non-toxic chemical paint, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like you get that idea of like how, like, it's not in the ways that you're thinking, right? It's like, I knew from my embodiment practices, I knew that that mantra was calling to me. I didn't know why. I'm like, why can't I think of one? I always think of these on the spot. Go to your spreadsheet, boom, there it is. It like highlighted itself, then able to do that. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this piece of furniture. This is going to be the igniter. It's going to be the spark to this plan to move. Right. And, and it didn't make any sense. Like, would you think that that would be the igniter? Like most people would be like, well, maybe if I book a flight to fly to Florida, like that's on the list. But no, the igniter was, Lori, like, just strip down this furniture, paint it the color you've been wanting to, like, that's where we're going to start. I'm like, okay. So, and it's fun for me. And it's like, and it puts a fun spin on doing things that do require effort. And I heard this today too, this morning. So as you can see, like, because of this Monday Money mantras, really all of this is floating through. I opened up my email from Marie Forleo this morning. I don't know if any of you saw it yet. It's a definite, oh my gosh, I haven't even gotten all the way through it. But it's like, it's a really great podcast. Maybe I'll put the link in here. But maybe, can I forward the email? I'll find it on YouTube. What was I saying? He said, so she had this guy on about money. He said, effort requires no training, no skills, no talent. Effort. That is literally all that's required from you when it comes to how can I create more money? What can this look like? It just takes effort. And it doesn't, and I don't want to say like efforting, but what little bit, like what tiny bit of effort. I'm going to even go a step further. What eensy weensy little bit of effort can you put out today? Because y'all, I did not put out much effort. I went into a spreadsheet, copy and pasted a quote, put it in Canva with my pretty branding on it, and popped it in the group and wrote a caption in like 5 minutes. That took effort, but it was easy. It didn't, because it aligns with me too. Like that's the other thing. When you're in alignment with what you're doing, it's not effort. It's not hard. It's just, it takes some effort. You do need to put some energy behind it. The minute you start putting energy behind it, support for you shows up. So I'm going to drop the link in here for the podcast, because this is the other thing. So right in my email was like, how can you, it's called FIRE. It's called Financial Independence, Retire Early. That's this whole segment of like, this guy is an author about, I can't remember his name right now. But he started this movement back in like 2009, 2006 or 2009, right? Of like financial independence, retire early. And he's like, but he goes, I'm kind of a fake retirer. He goes, because now I write books. He goes, but they're fun. Like I'm enjoying what I do. I speak, I come on podcasts. Like, so there's like this thing of like, what are you retiring from is really what I heard from him sharing. And, and then the ad that came up right before that was this woman who, was in corporate America, but she was always late to see with her friends. She had this great job, a huge paycheck, a beautiful house, all the things, but she had no life. She goes, I come home, I crash on the couch and I binge watch Sex in the City because I had no relationships, because everybody was in bed by the time I got out of work, and she thought that what she wanted. So she went and retired, sold everything, moved to an island. After about 6 weeks, her nervous system regulated. She realized it was her. It wasn't the job. It wasn't any of that. It was her ability to step away and step back from proving. And now she teaches master classes, right? That's what she was really doing, was proving. And that's exhausting. And that's draining. So when you are in alignment with the way that you work best, you're no longer proving. You're take it or leave it. And that's all there is to it. The results speak for themselves, right? And like, this is like, I said, like last night, I didn't have to do anything. I said, I know this money's going to show up so that we can do these projects. We can change this backsplash and do these little jazzy things and start cleaning out like the basement and those creepy crawly places that we don't normally go to, but like things always end up down there. All it took was me just saying, let's do that. This podcast came in, this advertising girl from the corporate world, and like this confirmation of like, You've got this. As long as you're in alignment, boom, right? And like all of that, you see universe, like, here you go, Lori, here you go, Lori, here you go, Lori, here you go, Lori, all because of a Monday Money Mantra. This is the power of this group when you use it and when you work it. Okay. All right. Thank you for hanging with me. I know sometimes my videos are long and I'm just going to call it out here. I'm working on a story of like, this is going to be too long for people. Nobody's going to want to listen to this. Like, so I'm working on that. And I'm just going to like name and claim that these videos are going to end up in exactly the hands of the person that needs them. And that what is being shared is more important than the length of the video. So I am working on that and I'm calling that out here and now. And I invite you to like, what's a story? What's a belief that shows up for you as you're taking your inspired aligned action? This video feels amazing. To be able to share this feels amazing. I'm going to Instagram next, right? And these are still the voices that come in. So I just want to be completely, up in the forefront with this. And you can always hit fast forward by going to the settings gear and you can adjust your playback speed. Okay. So you can put me in 2 times or 1.5 or 1.75 or 2 times as fast so that you cut the video time in half. Okay. All right. Let me know what you're hearing in this. I just really want you to hear the ease of this, of what do you want to happen today? And I want to make an extra $500 today. That's what I want. I want to make an extra $500 today. How might an extra $500 show up today? And I would love that. Okay. So, and how can I expand and show money even more respect and love? And I know that this video is another way that I'm doing that, of like inviting others to be like, hey, this has been this is what's showing up for me. What's showing up for you? What are you noticing? And this is how I get to show respect and love to money. And also, thank you, money. Thank you for showing up in the times right when I need you. Thank you for showing up in those times when my husband is like, Lori, this isn't how it works, even though he knows it does, and then like, just thank you. So funny. My daughter comes down the stairs. Mom, guess what? You're getting an extra, just a little over $600 back. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. There you go, Dan. That's how we're going to do this. And I know also, this just came in. Your brain is like, but you didn't know it was coming. Like, I know I didn't know it was coming, but the intention was there, right? And okay, this is it. We're going to be talking about all of this also inside the Assign a Coach and Client 21-day challenge. Okay. This is the power of setting intention. This is the power of just taking the step. And then because you're like, okay, yes, let's do this challenge. Let's sign some coaching clients. Like, let's do the actions. Boom. Universe starts like, put the brakes on and like gets everything in line for you, because you've just said, this is what I want to happen today or the next day, right? Like we don't know the day, but you've said on this day, I'm ready to make this happen. And universe goes, okay, I'm here. I've got you. That is the power of this work. It doesn't just happen for the Monday Money Mantra. It doesn't just happen for the Tuesday affirmation. It happens every time you say, yes, I'm ready for that. Universe can't just send you things that you don't like, just can't send you things you're not asking for. Right. It just like things just might show up, but I want to take that back. I don't want to take it all back, but that might be unclear. Your universe doesn't know what you want specifically unless you ask specifically. Okay. Yeah. Feels better to say it that way, because when you're being vague unintentionally, universe isn't quite sure. And it's like, oh, maybe it's this. It kind of becomes like, throwing darts at the dartboard. Every once in a while you hit a bullseye, but half the time you're hitting the wall and it's landing on the floor and you're breaking a tip, right? It's not getting to exactly the bullseye. When the more specific you are, the more the bullseye can get hit. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And we're going to do all of this also inside the Sign a Coaching Client, the Embodied Way 21-day challenge. I hope to see you there. It's been exciting seeing folks signing up. And how can this expand in even more? And how can we get this out into the world even more so that you can, be here giving and serving and giving and receiving the support that you are here and designed to give. That's it. All right, everybody. Much love. Bye-bye.